You turn 75 and what happens next? The numbers say an average of 11 more years for men, 13 for women, but averages do not tell your story. The real question is how those years will feel. Will you move with confidence? Will you bounce back from a cold or a stumble, or will you slowly lose ground without knowing why? The truth is, your body whispers long before it screams. 7 quiet signals reveal whether your body is aging with resilience or running on empty. And number 3 is the one most people completely overlook. Keep watching, because understanding these hidden signs can change how you protect every year ahead. Right now, I want to start with something you already do every single day: walking. Researchers call it a functional vital sign, and the reason is going to surprise you.
Before we get into the signs themselves, there is one idea worth holding on to. The World Health Organization does not define healthy aging by the absence of disease labels. It defines it by functional ability. Can you still move on your own, think clearly, maintain relationships, meet your daily needs? That concept is called reserve. Think of reserve as a backup battery. Some people at 75 are running at full charge, others are blinking red. These 7 signs are not fortune-telling tricks. They are honest windows into how much backup power you still have left. And once you learn to read them, the game changes.
Let us talk about walking speed. In a large pooled analysis published in JAMA, every tiny increase in walking speed was linked to better survival. The data was so consistent that clinicians now treat gait speed like a blood pressure reading, a vital sign. Here's the practical part. If your usual walking pace has noticeably slowed over the last year, especially without a clear explanation, that is not just aging. It can be worsening: cardiovascular fitness, muscle loss, hidden pain, nerve changes, or building frailty. Imagine yourself walking down a flat hallway right now. Feel that rhythm. Notice how your legs push off. Now picture doing that same walk 6 months from today. If that rhythm slows, do not shrug it off. Slower gait is a signal your body is asking you to pay attention. And the good news is, walking speed is one of the most trainable markers you have.
But walking is only the story your legs tell. There is another signal hiding in your hands, and it has quietly become one of the most studied predictors of mortality in aging research. I'm talking about grip strength. In a massive study published in The Lancet, every 5-kilogram drop in grip strength carried a 16% higher risk of death from any cause. The researchers found that grip strength predicted mortality at least as well as, and sometimes better than, blood pressure. Think about that. The squeeze of your hand can tell you more about your overall health than the cuff on your arm.
That sounds like it is just about your hands, but it is not. Weak grip acts as a summary measure of your total muscle health, your nutritional status, and even your biological aging. In everyday life, you probably notice it long before any doctor does. Trouble opening a stubborn jar, struggling to carry grocery bags from the car, having to wring a towel harder than you used to, feeling less steady when you lean on a cane or walker. These are not minor annoyances, they are your body sending you a message about reserve. And if you have noticed any of these changes creeping in, I want you to pause right now and really hear this. Grip strength is deeply connected to how well your body will recover from illness, how steady you will stay on your feet, and how independent you can remain. It is simple to check, deeply meaningful, and completely worth addressing.
Now let us move from your hands down to your legs, because there is a movement you perform dozens of times a day that tracks survival almost as powerfully as grip. It is the act of standing up from a chair. The Centers for Disease Control actually uses a chair stand test in their fall prevention program to assess leg strength and endurance. And recent research from JAMA Network Open found that in women aged 63 to 99, faster chair stand performance was directly associated with lower mortality. If you find yourself rocking forward, pushing hard through your arms, or needing a second attempt just to rise, that is not normal aging. That is your body signaling that the force your hips and legs can generate is declining. And that force is what keeps you independent.
Here is where it gets even more revealing. Balance is a marker that pulls together multiple systems at once. Your muscles, your joints, your nerves, your eyesight, your inner ear, and your brain processing speed all working as a team. A study from Mayo Clinic researchers found that single leg balance actually declined more sharply with age than gait speed or grip strength. That means balance might reveal neuromuscular aging earlier than anything else. Then there's the survival data. In a study published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine, adults who could not hold a one-legged stance for 10 seconds had substantially higher mortality during follow-up. The mortality rate was 17.5% for those who failed, compared to 4.5% for those who passed. But do not panic. Failing a balance test does not mean anything is coming. It means your fall risk and your vulnerability might be higher. And falls are common, preventable, and often life-changing after 75. If you want to try a quick check, stand near a countertop or a sturdy piece of furniture within reach and see if you can hold 1 foot off the ground for 10 seconds.
Those are the physical signs you can see and measure. But not all the most important signals show up in movement. 2 of the strongest markers of your health potential are completely invisible to anyone watching you from the outside. And that is exactly why they are so dangerous. One is weight that slips away without you ever deciding to lose it. The other is a quiet shrinking of your social world. Both of them can progress for months without raising a flag, and by the time anyone notices, the damage to your reserve can already be substantial.
Let us start with unintentional weight loss. After 75, losing weight you did not plan to lose is not a victory. It is a warning. If you lose 5% or more of your body weight within 6 to 12 months, that is associated with increased illness and mortality, and it should trigger a medical evaluation, not praise. Older adults often brush it off. You might say, "I just do not feel as hungry," or "food does not taste the way it used to," or "your clothes just seem looser." But behind those casual remarks can be malnutrition, depression, medication side effects, swallowing problems, chronic disease, or shrinking muscle mass. This is where sarcopenia enters the picture. Modern research shows that low muscle strength comes first, and as that muscle reserve shrinks, your walking, your balance, your immunity, and your ability to recover from illness all suffer. After a certain age, not all weight loss is healthy, especially when your strength and your appetite are dropping too.
And while your muscle is quietly shrinking, something else can be slipping away just as silently, your social world. This is the sign most people never think to include in a conversation about longevity, but the data is overwhelming. A systematic review of 90 cohort studies found that social isolation and loneliness carry higher mortality risk. The Surgeon General estimated that loneliness increases the risk of premature death by about 26% and social isolation by about 29%. That impact is comparable to well-known risk factors like high blood pressure and diabetes. And for older adults, social losses do not arrive with a warning. They creep in through retirement, hearing problems that make conversation exhausting, widowhood, caregiving responsibilities, or simply stopping driving because the roads feel less safe. You can look perfectly fine on the outside while slowly losing the relationships and routines that actually keep you alive.
Let me make that even more personal. Think about your typical week. How many times do you have a real conversation, not just a transaction with another person? Who do you call when something good happens? Who notices if you go a full day without answering the phone? Social connection is not a feel-good extra. It is a practical health marker, as real as your blood pressure or your cholesterol. And the fix does not require building a whole new social life from scratch. Research from the National Institute on Aging and the CDC points to something much more realistic. Create one reliable contact point every day or every week. A phone call, a shared walk with a neighbor, a weekly class, volunteer work. Any movement done with another person counts. The goal is not perfection. The goal is consistency. Because when you stay connected, your brain stays engaged, your stress levels drop, and your body literally ages more slowly.
Now, let me introduce the simplest sign of all, and it might be the most powerful. It is a single question you can answer right now. In general, how would you rate your health? That one answer, your own personal rating, has repeatedly predicted mortality across studies. A systematic review found that 16 out of 21 studies in community-dwelling older adults showed a significant relationship between self-rated health and mortality. You might be wondering how one question can possibly be that accurate. The answer is that when you rate your health, you're not just guessing. Your brain is quietly pulling together everything your body has been telling you: stamina, pain, mood, sleep quality, confidence, dizziness, appetite, memory, and whether your world feels smaller than it did 6 months ago. Your self-rating is a summary signal of realities that no single lab test can capture.
That is why self-rated health is so valuable. It catches what numbers on a page miss. Think about it this way. Your blood work might come back normal. All your lab values in the expected range. But you feel slower. You are sleeping worse. You are not enjoying meals like you used to. Your life has quietly shrunk. None of that shows up on a lab slip, but all of it shows up in your gut feeling about your health. And research confirms that gut feeling is worth paying attention to. If you rate your health worse than you did 6 months ago, that deserves attention. Not panic, not self-diagnosis, but attention, because that shift in how you feel often points to problems you can still address. Deconditioning, low activity, insufficient strength training, poor nutrition, depression, sensory loss, medication. Effects or an untreated illness. Your body is talking to you. Listen to it.
Before we move to action, let me clear up 3 common misconceptions that keep people from taking these signs seriously. First, these markers are not crystal balls. They do not tell you exactly how many years you have left. They reveal probabilities and health reserve, not certainty. Second, normal blood work does not mean you're aging well. Functional measures like walking speed, grip, strength, chair stand, and balance often predict disability, falls, hospitalization, and mortality in ways that routine labs simply cannot capture. And third, once these signs appear, it is never too late to improve. The World Health Organization, the CDC, and the National Institute on Aging all continue to recommend physical activity, strength training, and balance work in older age, because these behaviors are proven to lower mortality risk, improve function, reduce falls, and protect cognitive and mental health. The window is not closed, it is right in front of you.
So, here's what I want you to do. Start with a safe personal check-in. This is not self-diagnosis, this is awareness. Walk down a flat hallway at your normal pace and simply notice whether your rhythm feels confident or hesitant. Use a sturdy straight-back chair and try standing up and sitting down without using your hands, but only if you feel safe doing so. Test your balance near a countertop or a sturdy piece of furniture, and skip it entirely if you already feel unsteady. Track your weight and your appetite at least once a month. If you find yourself down 2 belt notches, eating half your normal dinner, or noticing that food just tastes bland, write it down. Those notes matter. And if you lose about 5% of your body weight in 6 to 12 months without trying, that is a solid reason to call your clinician. The National Institute on Aging is clear on this. Exercise and movement should never cause dizziness, chest pressure, or nausea. Stay within your comfort zone and let the signals guide you.
Knowing when not to wait is just as important as knowing what to check. If you are experiencing new or rapidly worsening slowing, repeated falls, marked difficulty rising from a chair, new confusion or memory decline, persistent low mood combined with isolation or unintentional weight loss, do not wait for your next annual visit. Schedule a non-emergency medical appointment now. And here is something to keep in your back pocket. Sudden symptoms are a different story. Facial droop, arm weakness, speech trouble, sudden trouble walking, or sudden vision change could signal a stroke. Chest discomfort, shortness of breath, pain radiating to your jaw, neck, back, arm, or shoulder, or unusual lightheadedness with a cold sweat could signal a heart attack. In those moments, call emergency services immediately. Do not wait and see.
Here is the message I want you to carry with you. These 7 signs are signals, not sentences. They should prompt awareness and action, not fear. When your walking slows, your balance drops, your strength fades, your appetite shrinks, or your social world narrows. Those changes deserve your attention because they often point to problems you can still change. Deconditioning responds to movement. Low activity responds to a daily walk. Insufficient strength training responds to resistance work. Poor nutrition responds to protein-rich meals and hydration. Depression responds to treatment. Sensory loss responds to hearing aids and eye exams. Medication effects respond to a review with your doctor. Untreated illness responds to diagnosis. The list goes on, but none of it happens if you ignore the whispers.
And here is the part that matters most for how you feel about the years ahead. Reserve is not fixed. You can rebuild it at any age. Muscle responds to resistance training, even in your 80s and 90s. Balance improves with targeted practice within weeks. Walking speed climbs when cardiovascular fitness returns. Social connection can be rekindled with a single phone call. And your own rating of your health tends to shift upward when you start addressing the pieces that feel off. The evidence does not say these signs are permanent. It says they are invitations. The question is whether you will answer them.
Let me bring it all together. Walking speed, grip strength, the power to stand from a chair, single leg balance, unintentional weight loss, social connection, and your own personal rating of your health. 7 signs, 7 windows into the reserve your body still has, and the reserve it is asking you to protect. The body whispers before it screams. If you learn to hear those whispers, you can seek help sooner, train smarter, nourish better, stay connected, and step into your years ahead with more realism and more control than you had yesterday. Share this video with someone you care about, because the best time to pay attention to these signals is right now, and the second best time is today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.